Andre, how does co-design artist assist the process of preparing area redevelopment plans? Dak, the members of co-design are artists and architects who know how to relate to city planners, but who can also relate to participants at community design workshops. Co-design promotes a collaborative approach to design, which tends to produce a higher quality of public input. The professional quality of work is also more easily understood by the city, and the results tend to be more highly valued by both the community and planners. The concept plan for Inglewood, for example, has had a real impact on city planners and officials who have been impressed by the community's ideas and co-design's expression of them. At the same time, people in the community have been encouraged by the outcome of the design workshop to participate more fully in the neighborhood planning process. Appendix A. Learning the workshop techniques. The SAIT project, a case study that describes how co-design instruction prepared students at an Institute of Technology to assist in a program of design participation for campus improvements. The study includes comments on the special nature of institutional workshops in contrast to community workshops. Context. The course applies the contents of this book to instruction for students of architectural technology at the Southern Alberta Institute of Technology SAIT in Calgary during the 1987-1988 academic year. Taught by Stanley King with the assistance of Merinda Conley, Bill Latimer, and Drew Ferrari, the course formed part of a larger program of campus planning that included concept designs for improvements to the accommodation of several departments, management, faculties, staff, and students who were to be affected by the changes participated in the design of the improvements at a series of co-design workshops. The architectural students applied their newly acquired skills by assisting at the workshops. The co-design instruction fulfilled the requirements for parts of the regular courses in architectural rendering and in architectural theory. The students, then in their second year of the program, were already proficient in perspective drawing. Architectural objectives of study. The objective of the co-design course was to equip the students with the ability to conduct a dialogue with clients in order to obtain design requirements. The ability to use quick sketches to visualize clients' ideas was also emphasized. The steps of learning. The students followed these steps in learning the skills of the client dialogue. 1. Perceptual analysis of an existing environment in design terms. 2. Perceptual description of an imagined environment in design terms. 3. Questioning a client to obtain a full description of the preferred environment. They followed these steps in learning the skills of co-design sketching. 1. Studying examples and watching demonstrations of co-design workshop drawings. 2. Studying the structure of figures, objects, and scenes. 3. Live figure drawing and site sketching. 4. Visualizing scenes. 5. Drawing scenes as described by a single client. 6. Drawing scenes as described by a group of clients. Timing. Co-design sketching took place for 2 hours each week for 12 weeks, which was 2/3 of the regular 36-hour architectural rendering course, a time normally applied to formal rendering techniques. In addition, the students completed about 2 hours of assignments between classes. Class time for learning to conduct a client dialogue occurred 3 hours a week for 4 weeks, the beginning 1/3 of the regular 36-hour architectural theory course, normally devoted to the establishment of design criteria. The first 30 minutes of a typical co-design sketching class started with warm-up exercises, followed by 10 minutes of figure drawing at the front of the room where the students sketched each other. Then, in a 15-minute period, each student drew a scene as described on the blackboard. The class then continued with the study of particular topics such as cars or foliage. The students learned to draw scenes for a single client by working in pairs, one student acting as a client in describing a scene for the other student who acted as the artist. After a short time, 10 to 20 minutes depending on the complexity of the topic, they exchanged roles. They learned to draw for a group of clients by practicing in groups in class and later by assisting in the actual co-design workshops. Number of students and participants. The course included all the students in the second year of the Architectural Technology program, a total of 2 classes with 24 students. The workshop participants varied in number from 8 in the smallest workshop to 23 in the largest. The largest workshops formed part of the course and all the students attended, providing a ratio of 1 artist-writer team to 2 or 3 participants. SAIT hired the students for the other workshops on a ratio of 1 artist-writer team for every 4 participants. The ratio of instructor to students for most of the courses stood at 1 to 24. The assistant instructor joined the class on occasions to demonstrate workshop techniques and to guide the students at actual workshops. Approximately half the students gained enough confidence to draw scenes in front of strangers at the workshops, and they filled the role of the co-design artists. Those who lacked the confidence served as writers and assisted in the drawing of diagrams and sketch plans. The workshops. Training workshops in class occurred throughout the academic year. The first public workshop focused on ideas from an atrium space. Held at SAIT's open house, it caused great interest among the visitors, who were mainly high school students. The high school students sat beside the architectural students who drew their ideas for campus improvement. At times, the high school students stood 4 deep to watch the students draw. A panel of judges commended the co-design demonstration for its professional relevance and its usefulness to the visitors who could participate in a learning exercise with the students. A series of workshops followed for improvements to department accommodations for international education, extension services, drafting, and automotive diesel. Each workshop within the series lasted 90 minutes, a period suited to the schedule of the participants and the students. The workshops followed the sequence set out in Chapter 2. Some of the environments included intricate shops and labs. In these cases, the artists practiced sketching during the site walk, while the writer conducted a dialogue with the participants. The mood of these workshops intensified in contrast to the student exercises and the open house experience. The managers, instructors, and staff approached the discussions with the serious intent of achieving design improvements to their working environment. They regarded the students as professionals and required a professional performance. Some asked for assurance that qualified designers, not students, would work on the designs that followed the workshops. The attitude of the participants in this institutional setting differed from community workshops. Institutional participants had difficulty in finding time in their demanding schedules, and as a result, they concentrated intensely. In contrast, the community workshop participants typically put aside a whole Saturday and participated in a relaxed manner. The institutional participants focused more on exact dimension and detail and produced a greater amount of data. Occasionally, they showed a sensitivity to rank that is absent in the community workshop, and this sometimes in turn caused hesitancy in discussion as the manager waited for an opinion from the staff member who wanted to check with the manager before speaking. The selection of workshops for inclusion in the course depended on the topic. A criteria was that the workshop had a lead to a design that students could accomplish in order to complete the regular course requirements. The choice fell on the workshops for the drafting department that included improvements to the accommodation for the architectural technology program. The students used the data for their coursework in a design exercise for an independent architectural technology building. The responses from the workshops formed the basis for the concept designs of the campus improvements that have followed. Evaluation. The students evaluated the course above average in quality. Individual comments from several students showed appreciation of the opportunity to work on an actual project with actual clients. 2 students commented that they knew exactly how to work with the client when commencing a house renovation design immediately after graduation. In an evaluation after the workshops for auto, diesel, and drafting, 23 out of the 39 participants responded as follows. The time was sufficient. Strongly agree 4.3%. Agree 30.4%. Disagree 48%. Strongly disagree 13%. Not applicable 4.3%. For me personally, the co-design workshops were a valuable and positive experience. Strongly agree 50%. Agree 50%. As an individual, I felt free to contribute and state my opinions openly. Strongly agree 100%. The artist-writer represented my ideas faithfully. Strongly agree 38.5%. Agree 46.2%. Disagree 7.7%. Strongly disagree 0%. not applicable 7.7%. The following question attempted to clarify the effect of the workshops on the working relationship within the institute. The workshops have enabled the administration to demonstrate effective leadership. Strongly agree 4.3%, agree 52%, disagree 21.7%, strongly disagree 8.7%, not applicable 13%. The workshops indicate that SAIT cares about me as an individual and understands my job-related programs and needs. Strongly agree 13%, agree 47.8%, disagree 26.1%, strongly disagree 0%, not applicable 13%. A manager wrote in support of the program that the co-design technique encourages broad participation by all who will use the space under design, allows one's thinking to evolve beyond immediate concepts, allows through follow-up and probing questions for lateral thinking to be incorporated into designs. This helps to break away from stereotypical use of space, allows one to change one's mind if a sketch doesn't materialize as first planned, is very much non-threatening when it's applied within a group. Workshop drawing by student Craig Fraser of Ideas for an Atrium Space. Workshop drawing by student Sid Schrader of Ideas for an Automotive Workshop. Workshop drawing by student Mikey Brown of Ideas for a CADD Lab.